my soul family, welcome to March's fashion show here at Soul Coaching at the Spiritual Counseling TV Network. This is a special event that I am doing every month in honor of a French campaign for a cause. Now the cause of this fashion show is love, spiritual love, and as you all know, let me grab my mic. My name is Christie Ramirez and I am a soul coach. So my Spiritual Counseling TV Network is a membership program that has exclusive shows, and once a month I do a love show for free on my YouTube channel, and then also this fashion show. Now this fashion show is where we talk about love, but I specifically channel a special message about our spiritual journey more than anything through these Christie's Divine Creations, which are my special cake designs that I channel and that I really feel has a message from God. And this month's design, you can see the sketch that I have here. I'm still working on the actual cake, but I needed to come on here first to talk about this message and make this event happen. And we are at the end of March, so this message is going to apply more towards the end of March and until the next show. And what I was feeling for this month in particular, my cake design is still black and white. As you can all see from February's, it was also black and white, but it was mostly black and just specks of white polka dots with one red rose on top. And I was dressed in red. So there was this lot of passion and rebirth happening to make the light shine through the darkness, right? Sort of like rising through the darkness. Our dark nights are shadows that block us from love and block us from our spiritual evolution on our soul journey. And this is what we've all been undergoing this entire time. And as we now approach April and we are in the beginnings of spring, we are experiencing what's called the reawakening, okay? Because we all have an awakening, and this rebirth leads us to experience a reawakening. When many people can reawaken many times, and various times the second awakening is the love awakening. And what's coming up strongly is love's duality. That's the power of love, and that is the power message for this month. I'm really feeling that love can help us to conquer all, and this is about God proving to us the exponential power of love towards helping us to heal, helping us to transcend any human distortions, and helping us to eventually ascend into our highest purpose. And the reason why love has a duality, it's like anything in life, right? This is the principle of duality, a hermetic principle. This is about the polar, positive and negative, right? When you get a battery, there's a positive and a negative. In order for the battery to work and recharge and regenerate whatever it's meant to regenerate, both polar opposites need to be in alignment. They need to be working, the positive and the negative. And I feel like when any of them are off, the battery stops working, right? And the positive and the negative represent the feminine and the masculine within us. The minus sign, should I say more like the minus sign, represents the yin energy, which is the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy. And the plus sign is the overpowering one, which is the divine masculine energy. And we all have this within us, which is why we all, according to Chinese philosophy, there's this yin-yang balance. And I'm feeling like this is the recalibration that's taking place, because I have really been feeling and variously telling you all about the Libra energy, the justice energy, the balancing of the scales that's been happening for these past few weeks, all of March. So this is what's happening in particular. This is the clarification that we're all needing right now. This is the recalibration between the inner divine feminine and divine masculine, so that we may manifest this in the exterior reality. Hence the spiritual love unions in the form of true love, the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together in sacred love. And this is what today's show is going to be about. We're going to go deeper into this topic because love has its ability to help us to expand our potentials on an individual level and when it comes to mission work. So when we come together and we unite, hence collaborate with the divine feminine and the divine masculine, we see great revolutionary change that will lead to future legacies and that will lead to peace, harmony, unconditional love worldwide. And this is what we're all striving for. So let us get started then with this powerful fashion show of today. Okay everyone, so I just want to mention as well before I put the mic down, this is a special show as well that is inspired by Paris, France. And the reason is because of the fashion aspect, the artisticness that was born in the city of Paris. And I really resonate lately, especially with Paris and with France and all the things that are of beauty, aesthetics, right? And I want to bring this because art is a way of sharing divine inspirations. It's an extra way of channeling heavenly messages in a very creative, relatable way. And so everything that is in this show, in this scene, is relevant to these energies. So whatever resonates with you, I chose a lot of gold and a lot of white, but especially a lot of white, even with my dress today, because this is the light workers that are rising now. This is the rise of the light workers through spiritual diligence. I really was hearing that message yesterday. Through spiritual diligence, we can conquer and prevail as light workers, as warriors of light, into our fullest, highest divine potential. And now this is about the details, the in-between of how to go towards our next step, how to move up that next level, how to step into this next chapter of our life. Because this is a new chapter. We are literally in the new year, according to Chinese calendar. This is the official astrological new year from the beginning of March. So we are in the beginnings of this new world that has been prophesized for quite some time since last year. And I've been saying this in my Lightworker University presentation. I actually was watching it last night and I was reviewing all of these different predictions that myself and another person that I really do trust their guidance because it's divinely inspired, and how everything is according to plan, divine plan. And so now it's about reinterpretation, reinterpreting with the eyes of light, innocence, and love. And so today I am going to bring in tarot today. I want to do a reading. I wanted to do today's presentation different, maybe a little longer. In February's it was only 20 minutes, but I will be attaching the video of the cake that I make happen if it's meant to happen. And you're gonna see the cake, how it's divided between the white and the black. Literally, it's slanted, a slanted line, the yin and the yang. And there's roses along that line, along that divide, along that separation that is sealed and reunited by passion, by love. And this is about loving our life. Live a life that you love, making the life that you have of yours one that you love. If you're not in love with your life right now, then make changes accordingly so that you will love your life, everything about it. Fall in love with yourself so that you may fall in love with your partner. These are huge messages as to what's going to help us to heal, experience this rebirth, and ground this. Because the color red of a red rose is also about the root chakra. Needing to feel safe in this romantic love, right? This is about intimacy, transparency, honesty, vulnerability. But it's also about feeling safe in our stability in this world. Financial stability, independence, emotional stability. All of these things play a role in love, in life, and in success. And this is what's going to help us during these times. This is where our focus should be. Okay? So I'm going to put my mic down, and I am going to enjoy my coffee with you all today. And thank you all for joining me. You know what I was thinking as well, between today's show and last show, but especially today's show, I feel like the 101 Dalmatians movie really came to mind right now. Like even Cruella de Vil, how she usually dressed half black, half white with her hair. The Dalmatians basically are polka dotted dogs. And I'm gonna watch those movies later today because I feel like there's gonna be even more messages there. And it's funny how, you know, God channels messages through movies, but remember that these movies initially were channeled by people who were connected. If you all didn't know, let me give you a little fun fact, but all of Walt Disney's movies was actually created by a Freemason. He was an astrologer, so he was really connected to the star system, and he put in subliminal messages of light, trying to teach us lessons, right? There's always a morality behind a fairy tale, and that's what he created with all of his Disney movies, his Disney characters. So if you haven't yet watched all the Disney movies, I really suggest that you put that on your, start to write those on your bucket list and start watching. But watch from the eyes of an in-between, reading between the lines. Watch with eyes, your spiritual eye, with godly eyes, and see beyond the message, beyond the physical message, and see the ethereal message, the spiritual message. And it's going to help you to understand your life more, in particular, your soul journey, your evolution, and the whole entire spiritual awakening. It's going to be very powerful. And of course, make sure that you purchase my new journal. It's already launched. It's available to purchase on Amazon. The Rebirth, your 2021 spiritual guidance and gratitude journal. It's going to make all the difference. You know, I've actually been spending the past 2 nights sitting by my fireplace late at night, cozy, and just writing in my journal. And I decided to kind of fill in the blanks of all the months that I missed, starting from January. But I've also been doing the beginning of the month and end of the month reflections. And let me tell you that it really helps you to reflect. All the questions and prompting journaling startups that I put in that journal is really going to help you to think, help you to review your day, how you're going about your life, and see where you can make any improvements for your following day. It's truly going to make all the difference, I promise, in this growth that we're all undergoing. I love my journal. I spent like 2 hours the past 2 nights in my journal, sitting with myself by my fireplace again, and it was just so relaxing. It was so relieving. It's what I needed. It was very healing for me, and I'm going to continue this habit every night, at least 5 to 10 minutes. Once you catch up, all it takes per day is really 1 to 2 minutes. And it's just the monthlies at the beginning and the end of the month where you do the reflections. But then the gratitude daily and some steps that I have you make on a daily basis is only a page. So it doesn't take more than 10 minutes, I promise. And it's a great habit to start integrating for the rest of your life. So let's ask God today and Source. But let's begin with a prayer. I was really feeling, you know, because today is Sunday as I'm recording this, it's a little bit of my holiday time off, vacation weekend. I took a time off yesterday as well, spent some time by the sun, tanning and in the pool, and it was just so relieving to just get out of the normal mundane routine. And so I decided to do something different today, and this is not something that's part of my schedule. And the reason why, you know, I want to bring in the prayer today is because Sundays are usually when I do my sacred prayer circles, but I will be doing it for Mondays from now on at my School of Light. If you want to be a member, there's so many exclusive shows, so great there to help us to keep us in alignment and learn new things with all the classes that I teach, because I also teach classes on Sundays, but today is different. So I want to begin with a prayer to help us to find this love in this lifetime, to help us to ground ourselves in this reality as light workers, as sensitive beings that we are, and help us to be able to live amongst this world, among the humans, where you might feel like a black sheep. You see, the light workers might feel like black sheeps, and that's okay. God is telling you because you are this in-between that the world needs. The majority of the collective that is unawakened needs you to shine your light bright. So be strong and be courageous, and know that any obstacles or challenges that are being sent your way are only to help you to grow into your fullest soul potential and continue this evolution that we're all undergoing through this rebirth that is happening in this moment. Thank you, God, for giving us this courage and for sending us all these beautiful angels that help us on a daily basis that we learn about in my angel study class at my School of Light. I was actually listening to this week's angels, and it 100% resonates with what I've been feeling and what we're all dealing with. Because remember that I'm channeling what the collective's dealing with. And I thank God for giving us these messages ahead of time so that we may know what's happening and not get freaked out, not get startled, and not get unbalanced, and stay on track with our mission work. Keep showing up strong in the light, and keep being the love that the world needs through our smiles, through our love, through just our physical presence. We shine and embrace and embody this love and light that is gonna light up the room. And this is what the world is needing more than ever. This kind of show, all the shows that I do, are exclusive for those who are willing to move the next level in their life and are seeking higher truths. And what you get free on a monthly basis from me is just a sneak peek. It's just a little glimpse of the more deeper stuff that we do exclusive, which needs to be exclusive for God's purposes, for God's reasons, should I say. Because I was doing more free stuff before, but there is a reason why we need to shield some things, because not everybody's ready to hear it. And that's the prayer. Thank you, God. And let's begin now. Okay, so I'm excited because I actually got a new tarot as well. I've been rewarding myself, and I have the classic tarot here, which is the classic tarot basically. But now I also got the in-between tarot. So this means this is the before and the after of what happens in that tarot. And this is going to be great confirmation to help us to understand deeper what we are all dealing with and experiencing. Okay everyone, so the way that I'm going to do this is a little different. I'm going to choose from the main tarot because they're already shuffled, because we're going to be learning about this stuff in one of my new classes in my School of Light called the Mysterious Teachings class, and history and so much good stuff. So I'm just going to pick the same card that comes from here, and we're going to take a look at it in the other tarot to see what's happening in between. Alright, so let's get an energy about love's duality, this inner battle that we're all dealing with between love and fear as well. This is about choosing love, the light, listening to our higher self. This is free will. This is our own choice, and we need to choose this before the ego, not go for the ego that's going to help you to only regress. Not going to help you. It's going to actually just regress you, and it's going to make you stay in fear. So, okay, we got right away the Moon card, and this is a very powerful card and very interesting for these times because the Moon card represents all of our subconsciousness. Any subconscious emotions surfacing, I'm feeling, This is a major arcana as well. This is a split and a divide that we see in this major arcana card in the classic tarot. We see two buildings, so this is love's duality, like I've been saying. There's two wolves howling here, or dogs you can say. One of them is orange and one of them is yellow. This is the divine feminine and the divine masculine, because the orange would be the divine feminine, the sacral chakra, the central energy, whereas the masculine would be the more empowering energy, the solar plexus chakra. That's how I see it. So let's find it here in the major arcana here, the moon card, which is going to be very simple. Should be one of the main ones. This is the number 13, major arcana. Yup, and right away this is a very interesting card because this is a different image that we get here. This is a man surrendering in the ocean. And you know what's so funny? This is exactly, you know, God doesn't make me watch movies for no reason. And there's a sunflower here, which is about happiness. The final beginnings, we know what is the issue here. I feel like spiritual lovers are quarreling or disagreeing about certain things in the physical realm. And the movie that I saw on Friday night was The Horizon Light. This is a new release on Apple TV. And it was about a couple who was actually long distance. And they couldn't be together because the female lived in London because of her career. It was her aspiration. They were both young people. And the masculine wanted to stay behind in the city town, in the classic town that of course wasn't so high-end like London. And he just wanted to be a diver and set up his school there and just stay where he grew up. But she wanted to see more things. She wanted to expand her horizons. And so what ended up happening was that basically they couldn't be together. But every time that she would visit back her hometown, her friends there, and they would see each other, it was like an undeniable love. It was uncontrollable for them. It was passionate. And of course they were together, right? And what happened was that I'm not going to give the whole movie away, but basically what happened was that she came back for a wedding of her best friend, and they saw each other, right? And look at this. This is in between the moon and the sun. Very interesting because it's the polar opposites again, what I've been saying. So what happened was that they saw each other and they were together again, but they were only there for the wedding of a mutual friend. And what happened was just, you know, they missed the ferry to go to the islands that they were needing to go for the wedding. And they ended up going on a jet plane. The jet plane crashed because the pilot had a heart attack, etc. And so they were fighting for their lives, basically. And they eventually made it. When they united in their efforts, they put aside their differences, right? Because they were a little angry with each other, but only because they couldn't be together, not because they hated each other. And remember that the opposite emotion of hate, which can also come up in this duality, is love. If there were no emotion, no love, there would be indifference, which means that you literally wouldn't care. So it wouldn't trigger and it wouldn't affect you. And for them, of course it was love, because it was triggering for them. They wanted to be together, but they were at conflict with their own personal needs. For her, it was her career. And for him, it was not giving up this paradise island that he lived in, where they grew up. It was a beautiful island, but it's like, imagine staying in Hawaii. There's not going to be as much as opportunities in Hawaii as, like, let's say London or California, or like the main cities that are rural, right? So that was what was the conflict about. But eventually, after that experience that they had fighting for their lives, survival skills, they eventually decided they were never going to separate again, because this karma that they dealt with made them realize that their love was more important and powerful than anything else in life, including success, including everything in the external realm. And that's what they eventually surrendered to, even when they were about to die in the middle of the ocean. And they just surrendered, and they were rescued by a fishing boat. And that just comes to show you that it was just God trying to teach them something. So whenever it gets dark, eventually the sun will come up, right? With every sunset, there is a new sunrise on the horizon. And that's a good metaphor for today, on the horizon. Because this horizon line that we're all hoping for, that's our hope. It is there, but it's about patience, surrendering to the process. You see, he doesn't see how far off and how close the sun and the moon are actually together, the day and the night. I actually channeled this yesterday in my journal. I said, I'm grateful for the day and for the night, for every day and every night, for the sun and the clouds, for the moon and the stars. Because with every new ending, there is a new beginning. With every ending, there's a new beginning. And of course, this also deals with the relationships, right? Any past endings, karmic endings that have happened, past relationships, when you surrender and close that chapter, it only allows for this new beginning to be born. But we need to let it go, right? This man's letting everything go. And he's just peaceful alone in his own nakedness, in his own vulnerability, waiting for the sun to shine. And let's get another card for a little more confirmation about this. What's next? I want to know, because I feel like this is what the current energy is. Yeah, and the number 13, which is the moon card, is represented in numerology karma. Closing karma. Not repeating karma as well. And how to detach from other people's karma and keep going about your journey, because that's what we are needing to do. And look at this, we see another balancing scale in the tarot here, and this is the Six of Pentacles. This is about reaching harmony. This is about charity as well, humanitarian energy, which is what's going to help us to get through this energy. Let's look it up here, the Six of Pentacles. And it's of course in between the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Coins, and the Seven of Coins. And it's talking about the Bill of Human Rights in this Seven of Coins. This is about our independence, our freedom. I've really been channeling this feeling. Like feeling like you're not free. You're free to do as you wish in your life. You can do anything you want. But in this depiction here, it looks like these poor people here who are begging for food, they're not free, right? Because they're dependent upon receiving food from someone more powerful than them. And take this how you will, because this can be related to society. You see, this is also kind of celebrations and wedding and feeling. But if you see, this is a town of people striking for their human rights. And if we look a little further even, this is a woman giving a speech here, Eight of Coins. And this is kind of like woman empowerment stuff, right? Like Martin Luther King giving a speech for the rights of people, the freedom of people. And it's interesting why this is coming up. And this is also a family of 3 women here. But why don't we take a look at the actual booklet here and see what the Six of Coins has to say. How can we free ourselves up and break free from many mental constrictions as well as to how the world works? Hence also your spiritual journey. Yeah, the Pentacles card is all about, in this tarot, about dignity and freedom. To never give for granted, but rather to be cherished and defended. And who are we defended by? Who's protecting us as a country, as an individual? It's usually also the masculine energy that protects the feminine energy. In the court cards, the story is the awakening and blossoming of the child appearing in the numerals. So the 6 to 7 of Pentacles is about recognition, a sigh of relief. We want to be recognized as light workers. If we take a look at the next card, we have the 8 of Cups, moving away into our spiritual journey or ascension, even if it means being hermit, alone. Because this is what Moses did in the Bible. This is what Buddha did, right? Eventually, you need to go into your own to be able to transform profoundly. And again, there's a moon there, going deep into our subconscious. We need this alone time to reflect. Journaling is going to help you during these times. Choice of another path. What's this new path that you're being guided towards is the question. Let's take a look at the 6 of Cups. In between the 6 and the 7. And this new path has to do with becoming a warrior of light and union with your spiritual other, who is also the warrior of light. An innocent love being rebirthed. Through purification, we can reach this. Through empowerment, connecting to ancestors, playfulness, flirtiness, lots of purification. There's a lot of water. And then the next energy that we got here was the 9 of Wands. What are you still holding on to is the question. And what I just said, this is the masculine rescuing his feminine. Protecting her as well, because she is nurturing the moon, the child, the intuition, the sacred energy. This is a very powerful card. And this is between the 9 and the 10 of Wands. Fighting battles outside our control. This is external universal forces. The spiritual battle that we're all feeling is definitely real. Look at this. This looks very warlike, right? Warriors fight in war for freedom, right? And this is the masculine cherishing and protecting his feminine. Let's take a look at the deeper message here. And also what the suit of wands represents is one of enthusiasm, drive, and effort to achieve our dreams. This is a big one today. What are your dreams and what action steps do you need to take? And not settle and hold back, but full-heartedly immerse yourself into that mission, that dream, that effort. To reach the peak of the mountain, you see that we were climbing, and yet being able to let it go also to yet in order to walk another road. And what really comes to mind is this prayer that I always say in the morning. When we pray to God, we pray to have everything in this life, but ultimately when it's our time to let it all go, right? So this is about our ascension, because when we ascend into a higher realm, we need to let go of everything that we've built in the 3D realm. And this story also talks about a child that put her dreams in service of something greater, our spiritual mission. As light workers, this is what we all do. We let go of our egoic passions, our egoic dreams, and transform it, transmute it into something more collective. That might seem a little bit of a martyr energy, but it's not. It's just a selfless way of still being true to ourselves while still contributing. And then the next message for this, of course, we got, I knew it, the Fool card. How do we jump into this new beginning? Innocently. And this card shows like a superhero energy, which is what I'm also feeling, right? Like Superman and Wonder Woman are the couple coming together. But how do you do this blindly? This is the DNA activations that we've been experiencing, the upgrades at a cellular level. supernatural abilities. And this is between the Fool card and the Magician. How do we become the alchemist of this? And there's a Moon in the Magician card here, which is very interesting. Because this is directly connected even with the High Priestess. And in this High Priestess, it's the rebirth, the little baby, innocent baby, being born into this heavenly realm, surrounded by beautiful butterflies. This is the metamorphosis that I've been speaking about, which is the next year's theme for my journal. You can get a sneak peek when you purchase my journal at the end of the book. And the Fool card a leap of faith into the unknown. Yes, this is the unknown that we're all being guided towards. This new love is unknown because we've never experienced it before, right? There's only one spiritual half, so there's no way that we could have experienced that before. So it's okay if you're going into this inexperienced, because you get experienced by experiencing it. So God's guidance today is to just full-heartedly jump into it, because it's going to change your life. It's going to let go of that stagnancy that we've all been feeling and allow us to finally thrust ourselves into this new world that is meant to happen. It's fate. And the only way that we can do this is with the beginning messages of surrender and trust into it. Dive into it, blind it, and just let God catch you along the way, along the process of getting to know each other, of starting a relationship, of taking it at the next level, coming into union, cohabiting together, getting married, having kids, etc. This is all a process, life phases that you all go through. But you need to be in the moment and truly, finally let it happen and be in the moment, right? This is how we create quality memory. Not just let it pass through, but enjoy every moment and every second of it. Powerful message. And I do want to end with one final spiritual guidance. Please make sure to also check out my weekly poetry class at the School of Light. We're learning amazing poetry there and helping us to see life from a new eye. And the final message, what did I just say? The High Priestess. So it's that same card that we just found, the rebirth. And we do this by our connection to spiritual realms, our connection to the Holy Spirit, our intuitive side, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the shadow. You see the black and the white. Love's duality. And interesting as well, it's funny because I was just asking God to help me to come up with words for the letter B and J. And of course there's infinite words that we can come up with, but I came up with the black being the boredom, the shadow with life, symbolizing depression, symbolizing apathy, indifference, and moving into the light, joy, unconditional love, light, passion. Wow. Okay, my soul family, thank you for joining me in today's fashion show for March of 2021, Love's Duality, the power and exponential ability of love to heal. And thank you again. My name is Christie Ramirez and I'm your soul coach. If you want to book a personal session, please take a look at my website, christieramirez.com/booking, and take a look at all my membership programs, my School of Light, my Spiritual Counseling TV network, and all the other cool special events that I do year-round, including the Holiday Office Party where I teach you about manifestation and how to become the alchemist of your life through building and creating a vision board, my Lightworker University presentations that I did for the beginning of this year, a motivational speech and educational lecture, and more future events to come. Have an amazing and beautiful day. Namaste.